What's going on, America? This is Kevin in Kevin's Corner. And the more I try to get out, Don Lemmon pulls me back in. He just won't let me be. You know how the old folks used to be. You mess with them, they gonna go on now. Just let me be. Just let me be. Well, Don Lemmon just won't let me be. Okay? Every time he gets out and he says stupid stuff, I'm like, Lemonhead, burns me up. And then I got to come out of retirement and it's just jump all over Don Lemmon. Now, Lemmon, he decided, I guess, to come out and make an argument and hopefully invoke some type of sympathy about maybe the backlash he's been getting these last couple of days concerning some of his horrible rhetoric with Kanye West. And so, he comes out and he has this whole demeanor of, I'm so exhausted about what I'm seeing and going on here. And he talks about how he's about to take a risk. Now, I'm going to have to break this down. I want y'all to just listen to it, and I'll make some comments. But you got to see his face. He got the puppy dog face, like, I'm trying. I do everything I can, but I'm just up against the world, the obstacles. So he starts off by, I guess putting himself into the position of someone who's bold enough and brave enough to fight against the criticism that he might suffer, even though he didn't give Kanye West that same privilege and say, man, this guy was bold enough to come out and say things that aren't popular, knowing that he might receive backlash. But look what he says.
Saying this, but we just might be at peak crazy.
All right, you hear this?
I know I'm taking a risk saying this, but we just might be at peak crazy right now.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
Now, first things first. Don Lemmon's not taking a risk by saying that we just might be at peak craziness right now. You know why? Because every night on CNN, MSNBC, we hear them all day long talking about the president's unhinged. He's crazy. The White House is off the rails and everything's going wrong. He's a racist. He's a Nazi. Pretty much anything the left say, they never get any backlash over it. So what are you talking about? What risk is that? What risk would it be to get in a crowd of people who all believe what you believe and you throw something out and they all go, yay? I mean, 90% of the media, entertainment, all of that stuff supports this type of rhetoric. So what risk are you taking, Don Lemmon? I mean, maybe if you would come to a Trump rally and get out there and say that might be a risk, but to say it on TV, CNN, where everybody who watches you is listening to that rhetoric and believe it, that's no risk. And then he goes in to say, but, we're getting crazy. But look what he says after that.
I want you to hear me out.
He wants you to hear me out.
I want you to listen to President Trump. This is him at his Ohio rally just a little while ago, riffing on Neil Armstrong and managing to work in a slam at Colin Kaepernick at the same time.
Okay, let's hear this.
He planted that flag, that American flag, right on the face of the moon. There was no kneeling. There was no nothing. There was no games.
No games.
There was no games.
No games. What's the problem with that, Don Lemmon? I mean, do you have a problem with him stating something, his opinion about, well, first of all, a fact, Neil Armstrong was proud to be an American. We are proud to put the first man on the moon. And he talked about he planted that flag where a lot of people, they kind of run from the flag now. I mean, I guess we're not allowed to be proud of America's accomplishments. So we got to walk around with a sack over our heads and talk about we're just atoning for all of our atrocities throughout the years. And we can't be proud of that. We can't talk about the things that Americans have contributed to mankind. I mean, that's embarrassing or something, or are we just arrogant? Is this too much nationalism for you, Don Lemmon? That's what I want to know. So I guess we can't even bring it up or show it in the movie. And so he talks about that. But how rude would it have been if Neil Armstrong would have planted the flag on the moon and then kneeled to it? No, you salute it. So he's making a point that a lot of Americans feel positive about. That's what I'm saying. I don't understand what the problem is, Don Lemmon.
Boom.
Boom. You hear that? Boom.
And then, of course, there's Kanye.
Uh-oh. See, hear the condescending voice? Then, of course, there's Kanye.
Everybody's talking about Kanye tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Also at the president's rally, Congressman Steve Chabot.
You ready for this? Now, first of all, listen to how he pronounced this guy's name. He says, Congressman Steve Chabot. Okay, now I'm from Ohio. I know who Congressman Steve Chabot is, but Don Lemon called him Steve Shabbat. Okay, but watch this, what Don Lemon says right after this.
And I never knew I'd say this, but God bless Kanye West.
I feel okay with that. Now watch what Don Lemon says about Steve Shabbat's remarks. He's
I wonder
laughing.
who told him how to say the name right.
Now, did you hear that? He said, I wonder who told him how to say the name right, as he just messed up Steve Shabbat's name. Steve Shabbat. It's Steve Shabbat. Maybe somebody should have told you how to say Steve Shabbat instead of Steve Shabbat. You know, that's like bending somebody's syllables in the name to make it sound like it's something else. Your name is Deborah and it's like Deborah. No, I'm not Kevon. I'm Kevin. That's Steve Shabbat. And you talking about some Steve Shabbat and then laughed about it and tried to, I wonder who taught him how to say his name. And you don't even know how to say Steve Shabbat.
And then President Trump got in another reference to his BFF.
His BFF. See?
And it's true.
It's true.
Kanye West, what he did was pretty amazing.
It was amazing.
Amazing, that is one word for it. That's one word for it.
Uh-oh. I detect a little sarcasm in Don Lemon's voice. Amazing. Yeah, that's one word for it. That's one. I don't think he's talking about the same amazing that I'm talking about or the president's talking about. Let's see what type of amazing that my man Don Lemon here says.
Kanye's wife is talking about it too. Mm-hmm. A source close to the Kardashians telling CNN that Kim Kardashian West is not embarrassed by Kanye's comments. The
Why
source
would
also
she?
says that Kanye's mind moves at lightning speed and
Okay.
suggests that the White House meeting wasn't the best forum to represent Kanye's genius.
Okay.
There's a lot of things
Now, this is
affecting our
Kanye.
mental health that makes us do crazy things that puts us
Right.
back into that trap door called the
And I'm going to
13th
skip past
Amendment.
this because I want to get back
How to
to
remove
this guy.
Say what I said yesterday.
All
Floors,
right.
do
Yes.
it.
Now listen to Don Lemon. He's sitting there with this sad look on his face now after the clip, Randy.
I'm going to say what I said yesterday.
Please do.
Right, that some people left out.
Yeah, some people left out.
If you love this man, he shouldn't be in front of TV cameras. Not
Well-
that he shouldn't support Trump.
Now listen to that. First thing he does is he pulls on the heartstrings of his friends and family members. If you love this man. I mean, surely when you start off with a statement like that, people are going to, they're not going to come back at you because they're going to say, well, I do love this man. Okay. All right. See, it's kind of like me. If I loved Americans, I would make these videos to tell Americans to walk away from the Democratic Party and turn off the liberal media because they're just nothing more than an extension from the Democratic Party. That's all they are. And I love Americans. And that's why I go out and I tell these things. Okay. Kanye West got out there and he said what is true about how black people are supposed to be democratic. And every time you walk away from their plantation, you call it racist and so on and so forth. And he's not going to let racism and shaming and bullying stop him. So what are you talking about? If you love this man, you would tell him to get off
Not
TV.
that he doesn't have to say what he...
I'm sure your family members, Don Lemon, who love you, they should be telling you every night, Don, get off TV. You get up there every night race baiting. You get up there every night virtual signaling. You get up there every night pushing propaganda. Get off TV, Don. But they don't. Do they love you, Don? Maybe they don't love you enough. Let's hear what else he got to say.
He wants to say, right?
Mm-hmm.
Help him.
Help him.
Help him.
Help him? Yeah. See, he's trying to
Don't
look
double
serious.
down on it.
Don't double down on it. He's looking serious.
If I ever
Now listen to this.
got close to doing that even before I came on television, first of all, nobody would let me go on television in this studio.
They do it every night. You get close to that and beyond. Every single night he gets on TV and open his chaps. Okay? Nobody stops him. You talking about nobody would let me even go out there on that. They do it. They let you go out every single night, Don Lemon. Every night. Right now. He's out there talking crazy and nobody's stopping him. Yeah. So what are you talking about? But listen to what he says right after that.
Or anyone that I know, they'd have my back. They'd say, Don, I don't think you're right. Yeah.
No. See.
I remember when my
See,
sister...
somebody don't have Don Lemon's back. And I'm going to tell you why. You ever seen somebody who looks crazy going out? They come out. There's this guy, every time I go dancing, I'll see him out there. He wears fur coats when it's like 75 degrees, and I'm talking the full length fur coats, fur hat. He walks around with a big Viking cup like he's a king or something, and he wears sunglasses in the club. I've seen women go out with stuff that you go, what are you wearing? You can't put that on. Your body's not built for that. You know, I've seen guys go out and they got the big banana suit on and the banana shoes and hats that's so big with a feather that hangs all the way down to the ground. And you can look in their face and tell, in their mind, they like, I'm killing it. Now, if they happen to be with some friends, the first thought I have is, y'all don't love them. Because if you did, you would have said, dude, what are you doing? You can't go out looking like a banana. Or you can't put that on. It's 75 degrees. You're going to die. You're going to burn up right there. You're going to burst into flames in front of everybody. Take the fur coat off, man. Get the polar bear off your back. But nobody says anything to them. And I go, they don't have friends that love them. Don Lemmon is talking about he got people that love him and would never let him go. And obviously they don't, because you're out there spewing garbage right now, making a fool out of yourself and don't even know it. So somebody should be like, Don, come on, man. Let it go. Get off TV. Go sit down somewhere. But let's see what he got.
Nobody would let me go on television until they felt that I was okay. Mm-hmm. So if you care about him, really do it, not just the fame, not just the celebrity, not just whatever, then maybe some people are just too close to the forest, can't see the forest for the trees.
Okay.
So
let's take it from Don Lemmon.
I'm trying to say something nice about Kanye.
That's nice.
And I'm trying to actually tell the people who know him and who are close to him.
That's nice.
Help him.
You hear that?
He's talking about the 13th Amendment.
He's trying to be nice.
And trap doors and hydrogen planes. And that's fine.
And you know what else he's talking about? He's talking about how black people aren't allowed to think freely and leave the plantation because they have other black people like Don Lemmon who gets on TV and says, shoot, get back on the plantation. Get back in there with the rest of the sheep. You know what he is? He's a sheepdog. Along with the rest of the black commentators that are on TV all the time. I just saw somebody on Laura Ingram's show arguing with Pastor Scott and another gentleman and this black dude, Leon. I don't even know why they let Leon on TV. That man is the angriest man in the world. What? I know you ain't say nothing about that. And I'm going, okay, Leon gets on TV and he is doing exactly what Don Lemmon is doing, which is attacking Kanye West for being a free thinker and bringing out some points that really embarrass and shame and look bad on the Democratic Party. So what do the Democrats do? They get the sheepdogs and they say, go out there and herd them back into the sheepfold. Don't let them get too far, okay? We'll sit back up top and watch you do your job. And now he's out there doing his job. So with all of the stuff that he's talking about Kanye West said, okay, he's also not bringing up the fact that Kanye West is exposing how the Democratic Party has been using black people and making sure that we stay loyal to them for nothing. Absolutely nothing. So what are you talking about, Don Lemmon? Or he just wants to focus on, he's the things that he said that didn't make sense and he's not well educated on these things and he needs help. I'm really concerned about him because he's exposing the Democratic Party and he runs the risk of making sure the black people wake up one day and see that we've been used and manipulated by them for years. And so we can't have that happen. The people who pays me, the ones that I work for, they will be upset. What do you think they pay me for? They pay me to get out here every single night and make sure you guys don't think for yourselves. And make sure when you do, we embarrass you. We try to tie you to Donald Trump because, see, we've been painting the story that he's a racist and a sexist and a misogynist for 2 years. So now we pretty much got it set up to where most black people and minorities, they bought into it. But if somebody comes out and they say, well, I don't believe that, and that person has a little too much clout, we got to assassinate their character. That's what we have to do. See, Don Lemmon, he's not bold enough to say that. He's not bold enough to just say, Kanye West is bold enough to get out there and speak his own mind and leave the sheepfold. So that's what Don Lemmon is doing. I'm going to wrap this up.
But is it the appropriate venue? Is that what you want your loved one? Is that what you want your loved one's legacy to be?
Did you hear this? Pulling at the heartstrings. Is that what you want your loved one's legacy to be? Well, Don Lemmon, when I'm not here to judge Don Lemon's life. I'm sure there are people in his family that might not approve what he does, how he lives, the choices that he makes, the stuff that he says every night when he gets on TV. People might not approve. I mean, just think if he has somebody in his family that is a conservative and they hear him get on there every night. 20 years from now, they might talk about Don Lemon and be like, my cousin, my brother, my friend was used for about 20 years on TV by the Democratic Party to pretty much keep blacks in slavery to the Democratic Party by voting Democrat without question, without leveraging the vote, without historical knowledge of how the Democratic Party enslaved them, not only physically, but mentally to the party. They might not look too kindly on Don Lemon 20 years from now. So, Don, you might want to watch what you say, all right? Because it takes one to know one, So, that's just a little bit more exposure of Don Lemon and his hypocrisy and his silliness and his attempt to cover up how stupid he sounded all week bashing Kanye West and doing the will and the bidding of the Democratic slave plantation masters that invoked him and empowered him to go out there and say, y'all better get back on that plantation now. Don't you be going out there thinking for yourself. Because we're going to have to call you crazy. We're going to have to say you're unhinged and you're an embarrassment to your people. Now, Don Lemon has spoken, so I guess we ain't got no choice, y'all. We better just go ahead and believe what Don Lemon is saying. Please. Anyway, you've been listening to Kevin and Kevin's Corner. I'm sorry. Sometimes Don Lemon. Now watch, see if he ever sees this video. He was threatening me. He showed a fist to his eyeball. That means he wants to beat me up. And all that stuff. I made a video the other day and I said, when he said something about Kanye's mother, I wanted to reach through and pull his tongue out so far it hang down like a red necktie. He threatened to rip my tongue out. I just know it. I can hear it now. Anyway, find me on Facebook. Find me on Twitter. Check me out. 7:30 Wednesday nights. Check out my sponsor, Extreme Tees, y'all. You got to check their stuff out. Great t-shirts. The link is in the bottom. If you want to donate to Kevin and Kevin's Corner, please feel free. There's a link in the bottom to do that as well. And hit the notification button. Share this video. And I think it's one more thing. Share it, notification button, and subscribe. Bam! All right. God bless you. We'll see you next time in Kevin's Corner. Done.